Bust it.
Hello and welcome again to another roundup of activities on the political terrain. Of course, on Political Platform, that's the only place you get a lowdown of everything happening in the polity. And my name is Uju Ejeye. The Senate has asked President Buhari to sack the nation's service chiefs for their inability to reining the festering insecurity in the land. The lawmakers also advised the president to take advantage of an offer of assistance by the United Kingdom in the area of security to help tackle the insecurity across the land. The president met with the British Prime Minister Theresa May last Monday, and of course this was part of the discussion, the offer to help Nigeria with assistance in the area of security. And the lawmakers are saying, President Muhammadu Buhari, please avail yourself of this opportunity. The lawmakers also decried what they describe as lack of decisive action by the government to deal with the issue of herdsmen killings in the land, saying that it endangers even their positions as lawmakers should they go back for re-election, and it's endangering the nation's democracy. And it was on the strength of a motion by Senator Suleiman Adokwe from Nasarawa State. And at the last count, 78 persons have been killed in Nasarawa State by through attacks by herdsmen and criminal militia groups in that state. It's a disheartening one that we should not continue to witness in this country. We hear also of another abduction in Kano State of a foreign national. These are certainly not good things to come out from a great country like Nigeria. But we believe that the authorities are doing something. And of course, the Senate has lent its voice, making demands that it believes would help tackle the problems. The Senate also summoned the Central Bank Governor, Emefiele, the Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun, and the Minister of Defense, Mansour Dan Ali, over the alleged withdrawal of $462 million for the purchase of helicopters from the from an American firm, not the government this time, without the approval of the National Assembly. And of course, it was Senator Samayanwu, Chairman Ethics and Privileges, that raised that matter on the floor of the Senate. We'll be looking at these issues this morning. And the All Progressives Congress has set a date for its national convention. It's barely a month from now, and that's May the 14th. So we're going to see how the party can get through even the congresses before getting to the convention. Maybe a consensus arrangement would come into play. We will see. And Chief Olufalaye, the chieftain of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, has been visiting with the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, all in a collabo, if I may use that word, to collaborate in ousting the current president in 2019. We will see how that goes. And then is Shehu Sani, the senator from Kaduna State, still in the APC or SDP? We will know. And my colleagues are here, and I have Bayo Bodun.
Well, Uju, I think the reaction from the religious leader in Nigeria to Theresa May's call for us to allow same-sex marriage came in torrents yesterday. and it's from both Christianity, both Christian and Islamic leaders. The primate of the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, Most Reverend Nicholas Oko, was categorical that if the essence of our being in Commonwealth is to further morally debase us, then we should pull out of the Commonwealth. And we recall that the church in the last 2 decades have vigorously mounted campaign that same-sex marriage is not, Nigerians are not fit for it, and they have succeeded in mobilizing members of the Anglican Church across Africa who have agreed that there is no need for them to embrace same-sex marriage. And even far away from Rome, Cardinal John Onayeka came out boldly yesterday to say that Theresa May's call is an act against God. And the leader of the Muslim rights concern, Professor Akintola, also made similar call. And for me, the interpretation from this is that we should go back to 1975 when General Murtala Mohammed made that historic statement that Africa has come of age. I think Nigeria has come of age. We have been independent for long, and therefore we should not at this stage allow people with interests that are at variance with our values and culture to dictate to us.
Adebayo Bodunri, you know that the pressure has been on, not even just in this administration, even in subsequent administrations. I recall the time of President Goodluck Jonathan. The pressure was so much when the West came heavily, to pressure Nigeria into accepting even the church, because the church over there also, I don't know if I may use the word sold out, because if you look at the Bible, you look at the traditional religions, no one supports such acts. People believe it is quite ungodly, and we know it to be so. The churches there have given in, and they want to put pressure on Nigeria to give in, but it is not part of our culture. It is not part of our values. We will never ever do so, and we pray that our government would never sell out in that regard. What is not good, like Yorubas we say, unti oda uda. Amechi Anakwe is on the platform.
Thank you so much. Well, it could be of interest for us to realize that the first anti-gay laws in Nigeria were colonial laws, laws the British put down for us. They recognized the evil nature of such practices at some point, but they derailed at another point, and they want us to derail with them, and we will collectively say no to them. I don't know the responses the Nigerian government and indeed many other African countries will give to Theresa May when she made that statement. There should be a strong response to that. They should mind their business and let's mind our own business. But the Senate making a very strong statement, very strong if you ask me, asking the president to sack the service chiefs. It's the prerogative of the president to appoint or sack. They were the ones that confirmed them, so they played a role in the placement of the service chiefs and inspector general of police, but that's where their action ends. Any other thing is advice, and they're coming out with that advice to the president: sack the service chiefs. Why? Because it appears every day. You pick the newspapers, you see stories of this number killed, this number maimed, and this number unaccounted for.
And you look at what we call numbers. These are human beings like you and I. Fathers, mothers, heads of families,
women, children,
breadwinners of families. We've reduced them to numbers in this country.
And security is the main reason for governance. After when you have secured your people, you now begin to talk of welfare, which is the second leg. So the priority of every government is to enthrone security, then welfare. It appears the response has been stereotyped. Oh, the highest the president has done is to ask the IG to go to Benue, ask this person to do this. Sometimes they don't even go, or they don't even stay as much as they should, and it continues. It continues like that.
Ameti, is it not baffling that up till now we've not had anything about the facts of what the president said the other time when he went to Benue, that the IG defied his order, did not carry out his order, After that, what next? What was done? Was the IG queried? What has happened since then? Nobody knows. And then that's why a lot of Nigerians are dissatisfied with what is going on. And they keep also insisting that the president has not directly, come out to condemn herdsmen killings. Well, that's one thing, but I know that the president has also issued directives for the security operatives to tackle, to tackle that problem. It's just that it keeps increasing instead of abating.
What is happening is that the service chiefs and the inspector general, people say service chief, let's talk about the inspector general, please, because first is a civil matter before the others will come in. It appears what the senators were saying yesterday is that they don't have any idea on how to counter these security challenges again. That there are so many people below them that may have bright ideas, but what can you do when you're not in charge? So that's why they're appealing to the president to get rid of them. Some of them, their tenure have expired. The president just renewed it. That zeal, that determination, that push to do something extra may not be in them. That's why the National Assembly came out with that.
There's no doubt that experience matters in this kind of case, but of course new ideas, when you've tried out all the old ideas and they don't seem to be working, new ideas need to be injected. Ijoma Osamo, yesterday it was rumored that the senator from Kaduna State, Shehu Sani, has decamped to the Social Democratic Party, the SDP. And when he was asked whether he had decamped, he came in with this answer: "I'm still in the Broom City FC as a left winger and not a defender. The rumor that I've changed club to White Horse Atletico and that they offered me position 7 of a striker is untrue. If there will be any club transfer before the end of the season, you'll be openly notified." What do you make of that?
Uju, I am not surprised with that kind of reply. You remember it was Shehu Sani that came up with Ayanas and Jackass in his conversation.
Even the monkeys.
Even the monkeys and all that. So he's that kind of a person. His writings are rhetoric. He just want to answer by playing. But this is serious. If actually you have not moved from the APC, just come out categorically and let people know about it. Because a lot of persons will see this as just a joke. I tried going to his Twitter handle because I am following him on Twitter to know his response. It's still the same kind of joke-like response. And this time, we will see more of that. We will hear more of that. What I keep saying. From experience, we know that politicians in Nigeria, they jump ship from one party to another. If it doesn't favor me, I go. And you're aware that Shehu Sani is actually out for the governorship seat of Kaduna State. So right from the day that this present governor took power, Shehu Sani and El Rufai, they've not been in good terms.
No, of course.
Because of his
even
ambition.
before he declared his ambition, they have never been able to get on.
Whatever is happening is politics. I actually want to. The question Bayo asked: what do we benefit from being a member of the Commonwealth of Nations? If you want to go to any of these Commonwealth countries, they hell out of you to get visa. So what do we as a country, this country, Nigeria, benefit if they keep putting things before us that you have to do this, you have to do that, it's necessary? What do we benefit from being a member?
Maybe because we have not quite joined the bandwagon. This gay sex thing has been on, and countries like Nigeria have even been threatened. If you recall the Goodluck era, Nigeria was even threatened somewhat, and you know, they want to carry every country that they think is their ally along, both in their good doings and what we consider their misdoings, if I may put it that way. But anyway, we'll come back to the discussions. Let's hear what our listeners are saying through their mails.
It's the mail segment, and I'm Amaka Okuru.
I'm Usaitin Yari. Welcome.
We'll begin with the call by the Senate to sack the service chiefs, and it's coming from Clifford Alozie from Madala in Niger State. He says, the call by the Senate to President Buhari to immediately sack all the service chiefs is long overdue. Unfortunately, a lot of innocent Nigerians have paid the supreme price of death. This is what we get when we allow almost all the service chiefs to come from a particular zone. Those who attend security meetings in Aso Villa are different from those who issue commands at the battlefield. Hence, this government does not want to listen to good advice. By the grace of God, our PVCs will advise them on the way forward come 2019. God bless Nigeria.
More reactions. Dixon Eka in Abuja says the Senate decision in asking President Muhammadu Buhari to sack all the service chiefs, claiming that they have exhausted their ideas, is a very welcome development. These are about the longest 7 service chiefs as the federal government continue to extend their services despite the fate of insecurity in the country. But can Mr. President hack into this call and sack them, which is the appropriate thing to do? The House of Representatives and indeed concerned Nigerians passed a vote of no confidence on the Inspector General of Police and advised the federal government to sack him, but nothing was done. The many allegations against the military and the unabated killings across the country is a clear signal that fresh and capable hands with fresh ideas are needed in the apex security leadership in the country. I urge President Buhari to take this advice and sack them immediately to pave way for fresh ideas.
And Hakim Kazim from Lagos State titles this one as Britain and the Gay Insult. He goes further. Good morning, crew members. The insults meted out to President Buhari is what you get and deserve when you fail to strategize, organize and mobilize your country domestically. Rather, you go shamelessly begging every Tom, Dick and Harry in quest for development and so-called foreign investment. Britain, our colonial masters, has nothing to offer Nigeria beyond serving as a conduit pipe for the multinationals and corrupt government officials in looting our commonwealth and perpetuating our underdevelopment. The insult is a food for thought for our leaders to stop looking the West in search for economic and technological development. Battling hunger, poverty, and underdevelopment is our primary responsibility and concern. Why? The hedonist lifestyle is what concerns the West. Our ways are not their ways. Let's shine our eyes. And this is how far we can go on today's mail segment. Keep sending your contributions to us with your name and where you're writing us from to politicalplatform@yahoo.com.
Yes, sir, it's still a political platform. And if you listen to one of the mails, it tallies exactly with what Adebayo Bodunri said earlier. What do we stand to gain from these allies, the Commonwealth? Why would Nigeria be insulted to that level? Because we have failed to marshal our resources for the development and good of the country and the good of every Nigerian. If you talk in terms of resources, we're highly blessed. There's no length and breadth of the country that does not have one natural resource or the other. You look at countries like Japan that don't even have anything. Through their intellect, they have been able to even develop to the point that their currency is a single-digit currency and is very, very powerful. We have everything, but because of mismanagement, because of the greed of our leaders, we have landed where we are, even the greed of the followers, because the people complaining, the minute they extend something to them, you see, everybody shuts up. I think that the time has come for us to become responsible, to harness our resources, marshal them. Let's stop receiving insults where we shouldn't, because we have everything it takes to make it, to be even like one of those advanced countries. We have it.
Joining us on the line now is someone from the Social Democratic Party.
Yes, the spokesperson of the SDP, Adakole Ijogi. Adakole, are you there? Hello,
yes,
Adakole.
Good morning. Good morning. Yes, I am.
Yes, we are actually going to be taking you up on two things. The visit of Chief Olufalaye, your chieftain, to former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Are you trying to team up as a third force to force out the current president in 2019?
Well, let me start by saying that the Social Democratic Party, SDP, is not the third force, but it is the main force. And the visit of our national chairman and eminent statesman in Nigeria to Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, former president, was to close ranks with leaders within the Southwest, and of course intimate him about the progress of the SDP with regards to mobilizing Nigerians towards our social democratic ideals. We are a party of ideology. We are a party of serious people, because at this current time in our nation's history, Nigeria needs serious political platforms to answer the challenges that we are facing. Because if you don't fix the political parties and political processes, you will not be able to fix governance. I heard you complaining about the Commonwealth and the responsibility of citizens and all of that. And I said, yes, this is the route that the SDP is going. So the visit to Chief Olusegun Obasanjo is an elder statesman, of course, someone who has been very openly critical about the current administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, or the APC-led administration. So the visit essentially was to close rank with the former president. And
you are also visiting other leaders. You are in Mina over the weekend, and there are reports which some of your leaders are talking about that there is a move for mass defection into SDP. Can you confirm this?
Mass defection by whom?
By notable politicians from other political parties.
Yes. I can categorically say the SDP has been open to people from other political platforms. In fact, I can confirm to you that in Kogi East, the whole structure of ACTA will be melting into the SDP early next week. Last week, if you're following the news, especially the mainstream media and social media, you see that the structure of the ADP, the Action Democratic Party, 90% of the structure of the Action Democratic Party.
Can you mention to us those who are already consulting with you beyond these structures that you say are dissolving into your party?
Well, you know the thing about political intrigues. For someone who has been in the political party processes for some time now, political intrigues will not allow us, because some of these politicians hold sensitive positions from the National Assembly, even in the executive. So it still permits me to use this word on a lighter note, a Nicodemus arrangement, where they come to us by night and then by the morning they go back to their. But anyways, I want to say that strong or high-profile politicians across the other political parties, from the APC to the PDP and other political parties, are, as we move closer to our conventions and the elections, will definitely join.
So you're receiving them, good, bad, and ugly. You don't care where they are coming from, the kind of attitude, baggage they're bringing in?
Oh, that's a wonderful question, my brother. Now, the thing that we are doing with the new SDP, we are going to launch this party in less than 14 days, or relaunch the party, because of the measure that we have with the new political order and other groups. What we're doing, we are crafting out a new constitution, a new manifesto, a new logo. So let me answer your question directly. If what we have put in place with regards to the constitution of the SDP, the Social Democratic Party, is to ensure that the party structure, that is what I mean, the fabrics of the party in social democracy and delivery in governance, is such that whoever comes in will have to adhere to the principles and ideals of the party. We are pushing party supremacy and respect for the constitution of the party as a fundamental objective of the party.
I hear you talk about bringing fresh blood, giving powers to the young ones. But what I hear now is that people from other political parties are joining you. And this one's not the old blood. What is new about what you want to bring on board?
Okay, there are so many things that are new. Let me speak about the youth parliament. We've noticed that it's not as if youth don't have, are not included in the political process, but it's just limited. So we have expanded the political space and created a youth parliament. In the SDP, you will have a youth parliament, and the youth parliament will be democratically elected from the ward level, from the polling unit level, down to the national level. And you have a parliament of youth leaders and not one leader. You have in the local government, you have a youth parliament. In the state government, in the state level, you have a youth parliament. In the federal level, you have youth parliament. Three from each of the senatorial districts. And they will now elect a youth speaker who will sit in the end of
Adakole, we know you have just told us about your plans for a youth parliament, but talking about youths that can take over or at least make a good showing at the national level, the number one seat, because you notice that recently there's been a lot of calls for a paradigm shift, including one from IBB, General IBB himself. Now, you talk about just the youth parliament. Are you also sourcing for youths that can fly the flag of the party at that level?
Well, you see, we are not like other political parties that you can predetermine their candidates at various elective positions. What the principle that we operate in the Social Democratic Party is a principle of a cross-generational partnership. And you see, this emphasis on youth, it's not only on youth the SDP is emphasizing on, or younger persons. We're also putting a caveat which is on capacity and competence. So we need, it's a cross-generational platform that we are looking at as a model. And of course, we're open to fresher ideas. A political party is a place of ideas, and that's what the SDP is.
All right, so let us also ask you, just before we let you go, is Shehu Sani now a member of the SDP? Has he come to your party?
We're talking with him, and we're at the concluding stages of him joining the party, but he has not officially declared off the SDP.
All right, thank you very much for your intervention. Adakole Jogi, SDP spokesperson. And I guess this is Hadibayo Bodri, you want to say something?
I think we should also be mention that it seems as if the re-election bid of President Muhammadu Buhari is on. Yesterday,
it's generating a lot of waves.
Yeah, yesterday Festus Keyamo was named as the director of
the spokesperson for his campaign.
They even gave him a big title, strategic communication, and that is what they get. And then from the National Assembly,
and that letter was signed by the man who have rumored to be the chairman of the director general of the campaign organization, former governor of Rivers State, Chibika Amechi.
And yesterday, it also came from the National Assembly yesterday that the process of transmitting the amended constitution to the president has indeed commenced.
Yes, it has commenced. They sent some sections to him to assent to while the controversy over the sequence of elections continues. This is the march that we can take on Political Platform today. Do join us again tomorrow for more from the political terrain. My name is Uju Ejeye. Thanks for being with us always.
Bust it.